Alright guys, so today we're going to be making some pickles from the cucumbers that we picked from the Earthy Nails and Tails garden. So before we get started, some things that you're going to need in order to make the pickles are mason jars, 1 pint recommended. The wider the jar, the better, because you can just fit more slices in there. You're going to need pickling salt. We personally use Himalayan salt, a little bit of extra minerals. Seems to work fine for us. Whole dill seed. Apple cider vinegar is what our preference is. Whole black peppercorns, and then we like to spice things up a little bit by adding some red pepper flakes. So the way you do it is so the recipe that I'm going to tell you about is for 4 jars of pickles. So 4 jars. Basically, I started by taking a pickle and slicing it into quarters and then just stuffing them in the jar. Make sure you don't fill above this line here. And a lot of these jars actually have a fill line, so don't put your jars above that fill, or your pickles above that fill line. Then what we're going to do is get the water to the boil, as you can see here. So I actually use a wok because it boils faster, and it also has a ladle that you can pour out of here, so you can easily pour it into the jar. So you're going to do equal parts water, filtered water, and apple cider vinegar. So you're going to take 1 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar and 1 1/2 cup of filtered water, and you're going to add 2 tablespoons of salt, and we're going to bring it to a boil. As we're waiting for this to come to a boil, we're going to come back to our mason jars here. And as I said, I've already got the cucumbers sliced and packaged in here. To each jar, you're going to add 2 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of whole dill seed, 1/2 teaspoon of black peppercorns, and then I add 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you don't want to add red pepper flakes because you don't like heat, that's fine, but I feel like it just brings just enough heat to bring out the flavor. So I'm going to pour now, and then we'll take video and we'll show you what the finished product looks like. Alright, so we got the brine to a boil. Again, that's just a mixture of water, apple cider vinegar, and salt. So now I made a double batch here because I have 9 jars, so it's going to be a little bit less than 2 batches, but we'll just finish up with water. It's still going to have really great flavor. So we're just going to do our best to pour these evenly between all 9 of the cans. So just start out slowly and work your way around. If you have to make more brine, that's fine too. Just try to get them as even as you can. So once we're done with these pickles, they have to go in the refrigerator. You can make certain canned foods that can last out on the counter, but these ones have to go in the refrigerator because of the way we're canning them. If you use a pressure cooker, then you can leave those in your cupboards or your cellars, wherever you store your food, but with these they have to go in the fridge. Alright, so as I said, I filled these up all pretty evenly, and I had to make some more brine because you do want to fill the jar up to that fill line with the cucumbers and with the brine. So it was a little bit less. We're going to have the same amount of seasoning in each jar, but we just had to make a little bit more brine. So the same recipe, equal parts water to vinegar, and then add in the salt. So now I'm just going to finish off the rest of these jars. Alright, so now we got all the jars filled, and all we're going to do is pop the tops on the can, tighten them up, and then let them cool to temperature before you put them in the refrigerator. You can't put them right in the refrigerator, but they are hot, so you don't want to put them right in the fridge because that's going to heat up your refrigerator. But one thing you do before you do put the lids on is just tap them all, so that way you can get as much air bubbles out of it as possible, which will help keep them preserved for longer. So these guys should last in your fridge for at least 6 months. I hope you guys like this recipe, and enjoy pickling your own pickles.